How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another installment of Tech Support Thursday. This is going to be ticket 11. It's kind of hard to believe it's already been 11 weeks. So, as every other Tech Support Thursday, I'm going to look through all of the questions and questions, comments, and things like that are posted on the channel. And then I will use this as my way to answer them. I still answer questions in the comment section as well, but I typically do this more in a real world, or like this, because it's easier to articulate what it is I'm trying to say. So I'm pretty sure I answered that question last week. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this one, because if I go back and I look at when the videos were posted, I look at Tech Support Ticket Thursday, I know that this question, Cisco Data Center 9000V VXLAN 11, was posted the day before. So I'm technically going back a week, a little over a week, but that's okay. I can kind of make the rules up as I go, right? It's my channel. So the comment was, "Hi Rob, can you please plan for NSXT videos? Your videos always help us. I went through one NSX video that you prepared in 2016. It's a very useful video. Kindly come up with NSX videos." So about that, I'm going to take a couple of minutes and pause on this particular question, and I'll move up to the other ones. We don't have many. There's only a few. I think it's like 5 or 6. So hopefully we'll get through this pretty quickly. So I have recorded, and let me go take a look at where these videos are actually saved at. I have a total of 33 videos. 33 that I've recorded for NSX for VSphere. Now, for those of you that are like, but NSX for VSphere is being deprecated, is going to be end of life, and this, that, or the other. Yes, that's true. When is that dropping? I don't know. Honestly, don't care. Because there are going to be people that have NSX for VSphere deployed and are going to keep it. They're going to keep a legacy technology that is no longer used, because that's pretty prevalent in the industry. Not everybody is going to jump on the NSXT bandwagon. So I have fully recorded that series. There's a couple of things that I tested when it came to distributed logical router, and the reason why I dove into it so deep is because the VMware the VCAP, the VMware Certified Advanced Professional for Network Virtualization, the deploy exam, the actual exam that you have to configure stuff with, that exam is still on 6.2. It hasn't been upgraded to NSXT yet. So because it hasn't been upgraded to NSXT yet, I have done a deep dive. Plus, there's also a couple of other scenarios where I have a new job on the horizon, and I don't normally talk about my jobs on the channel, but I do have a new job that's going to be focusing on NSXT. So I have gone through and studied quite a bit of NSXT. So that'll be the thing I'll be doing some content on. So the Memorial Day weekend, which is the weekend we're coming up to right now, so this is being recorded on Thursday. As soon as I record it, I post it. I will be actually leaving. I'm going to be heading to Florida, and then I will be coming back. It's a very short trip. Personal reasons, not going to go into any details to what's going to be happening there. But next week, I start a new job. So if I will probably be a little bit more out of pocket. I'm going to try to keep the flow of content coming out, but with the new job, I'm obviously going to put 100% effort into it. But NSXT will be coming out very, very soon. I'll be starting that. I do one video release per day, so it's going to take about a month for the NSX for vSphere series to come out, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where it's a lengthy series like that. I covered as much of the topic as I could that I could demo. So because of that, well, it's going to be a rather involved series. It's 33 videos. I have one thing that I haven't been able to figure out how to get working. I'm going to try to get it working, which is setting up UDLR connectivity and making sure that the VM that's in the particular data center is leaving out that data center and not jumping across to another data center and leaving out that other data center. But regardless of the situation, that is kind of where I'm at. I will be going through an NSXT series as well. I'll be covering that. I'll start with NSXT 3.0 or 3.0, and then I'm going to be going and slowly working my way through 3.1 and then any of the subsequent releases. I've actually got 3.1.2 ready to go. It's just a matter of playing with it. So there's that. So yes, NSX videos are on their way. Just please be patient. VSphere Networking, how VSphere Networking works. Great video. I am thinking about setting up my home lab with a proper VMware setup. I don't want to use VMware Workstation. I have access to all VMware software, so I can install vCenter and anything else I want. How would you advise I set it up? I want to have 2 ESXi hosts. I want to be able to set up vMotion, use my FreeNAS as SAN, network attached storage, and just replicate a real-life environment without spending a ton of money. I'd rather not have 5 NICs, HBA in each machine. I am trying to keep it simple, but proper. Any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. So I did recommend that you can do everything inside of one ESXi host, which is what I'm doing currently. I've got one ESXi host, and I deployed a number of ESXi hosts inside of it. So I got rid of VMware Workstation completely. I'm not using VMware Workstation at all. And then what that does is it gives me that flexibility of taking it to the next level. So I then am able to get a full vCenter deployment working with ESXi hosts and VMs, and it's pretty much line rate. I mean, it's definitely gives me a lot of flexibility and stuff like that. So I will be coming out with some videos on it in the near future, so just please keep an eye out for that. So your best bet is to trunk. So in VMware, you can create a port group on a vSwitch that doesn't have any uplinks, and you can create a port group and configure that port group with a VLAN ID of 4095, which is basically says trunk everything, and then you can associate that to all of your ESXi hosts that are going to be in this closed loop environment, and then their uplinks will be mapped to that particular port group. From there, any traffic, or like any vSwitches, just VDSs, VSSs that you create, what will end up happening is you'll create a port group, you'll give it a VLAN ID, and then that traffic will be tagged on the back end. So in that port group that's attached to the vSwitch that doesn't have any uplinks associated to it. So you can do all kinds of cool stuff with that. So just be aware of those. I will be going into detail in the upcoming vSphere course, so keep an eyeball on that. Tech support ticket Thursday. Ticket 10. Love this tech support videos. Excellent advice as always. Thanks, mate. The boot camp went well. I had a total of 5 people sign up for it. Just picked up my spot. Can't wait. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm going to be. I'm not going to be using Crowdcast anymore for any of the training that I do live. And I have left the company that I was working for. There was a training company, and I've moved into the consulting realm again. So I will be doing some training on the side in my own time. And my goal is to take the YouTube channel and grow it. So what I will be doing, and I don't know when this will happen or what the frequency of it will be, but my goal is to have a couple of different additional tiers to the membership. So right now the membership is $10 a month, and you get access to all of the any of the material that I put on YouTube that is able to be given the pre-configurations and things like that, like the Nexus 9000V course, the SD-WAN course, things like that, the Enterprise Encore and an RC course, all that stuff. There are, I have links set up to it so you can download the Eve topology files, so you can download the configuration files, all that type of stuff. I'm planning to continue to do that, but I'm going to put a couple of additional tiers in there. The tiers I'm going to add right now, I'm going to be doing a CCNP one where you'll pay additional, like it'll be $25 a month is what I'm going to be charging for it and it'll be me going live a couple of days a week. So the idea would be like from say 8 to 10 a couple days a week, and I'll figure out a schedule. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but it'll be a couple days a week where I go live from 8 to 10 or 8 to 9. It'll be something like that, to where it's not going to be a big burden on me to do it. It'll be a more of a focused effort. So go live for an hour and a half, something like that. Cover the technology, allow you guys to join. It'll be a regular schedule, so when I figure that out. And then any of the things that are covered, the EVE topology files and things like that, and the configuration files, you'll just have to pay the $25 a month to gain access to it, and I'll be adding stuff to that. So that is my goal with that. So I'm basically going to take the Encore and Anarchy series that I started, and I'm going to kind of redo it to where it's not going to be such a large topology. It'll be a much smaller topology. It'll be more focused. It'll be more individual lab files. And then I'm hoping that with the live series, that'll be what I promote. So it'll be a live series of content that'll go from one side to the other. And there's another question, I'll be getting to that here in just a minute, about doing stuff for CCNP for a service provider. And since the request has come in, I'm thinking I might even brush into some things for CCNP security. And maybe even, I've covered some stuff for Nexus 9000V, so I might even do some content for the data center track, but not be like on the 9000V, but not be solely focused specifically on VXLAN and things like that. I might go in, okay, this is how you set up the Nexus 9K in these particular scenarios. Same thing with like iOS XR. And what I don't want it to be is track specific necessarily, even though that I did say Cisco data center in Nexus 9000V. I don't know exactly how I'm going to lay that out yet. I still have to figure some stuff out and how I'm going to deliver that, but that is my goal. So I'm going to have content that I'm going to be going, instead of trying to pre-record videos and then remember what I said or what I didn't do, things like that, or things that need to be edited, I'm looking at going live with the content, and then any issues that I run into, it's just me having to troubleshoot it, and hopefully you pull something from that. So it'll be live videos, and then go from there. That's kind of my game plan. So hopefully maybe that'll work better. I don't know. We'll see exactly how we plan on going forward with that. But pre-recorded video, I'll be honest with you, it's awesome because I get to make it perfect, but at the same point in time, it's a lot to plan out, and I find that if you plan it out incorrectly or you get sidetracked by something, guess what? It's kind of hard to get back into the groove of things. So I'm actually getting things out of the way that are allowing me to circle back. So like, for example, a lot of the VMware stuff, I've covered data center and network virtualization now. So I feel like I've got that stuff on lockdown. My next thing would be to learn desktop mobility, like Horizon View and things like that. That's my next big thing. But as of right now, I haven't committed to that yet. So I want to get network virtualization and data center better, and then I'll be able to focus on other things like desktop mobility and things like that. So there's another question that was posted on Cisco Data Center Nexus 9000V VXLAN 12. It says, "Hi Rob, I know it's kinda of dumb question, and am new to networking, currently doing CCNA. What path what advice or path should I take in order to get job ready? Thank you." So full disclosure, I actually hate getting questions like this because I know nothing about you. And there's so much out there right now that needs to be laid out. You're studying for CCNA. Obviously, you're going to want to study like the official certification guide. You're going to want to watch some videos about the technology that might not translate well through a book. Maybe you're great at reading books and it just clicks. Maybe you're not. I would definitely recommend not only watching or reading the official certification guide, watching videos, and labbing stuff up. So my personal opinion on certain things, like Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer sucks, in my honest, cold-blooded opinion. I say cold-blooded because I have spent a significant amount of time in Packet Tracer, and I hate it. I hate Packet Tracer because I am a CLI guy that has spent a lot of time on real iOS. If you are serious about this industry, I recommend that you go out and get the Cisco Modeling Labs personal license, $200 a year. You get access to all the operating systems, and then you download Eve community version. It's free, and then you go out and you buy yourself either a server for a couple $100 that's got some decent processing, and you're looking for 32 gigs or more of RAM. And then what you're able to do is you're able to take Eve, the VM, and deploy it inside of your host once you've got ESXi deployed. And you can get ESXi for free, or you can pay the $200 on the vMug Advantage plan, and then you can get all the operating systems with licensing for that. So you could also learn VMware, for a bang there. So I usually tell people $1,000. If you take $1,000, save up the money, save up $1,000, go buy yourself a decent server. I prefer Cisco UCS C220s. You don't have to do that. If you want to go get an HP or a Dell, whatever suits your needs. Honestly, don't care. I'd get a server. I'm looking at 8 core or more and two CPUs. So that means you get two 8-core CPUs, which actually gives you 16 cores. And then when you hyperthread that, it gives you 32 or more. And then you take that with 32, 64, or 128 gigs of RAM. The more the better, obviously. And then you're able to take these VMs. You're able to install Eve as a VM. And you're able to take the CML personal license that you gained access to, and you're able to upload all of those operating systems to Eve, and then you're able to go and lab the crap out of it. It's on real iOS. It's the same operating system that you're going to be seeing in the real world. So why not learn the real world stuff, right? Get out of Packet Tracer, get into real world networking. So those are what I'm recommending you do. That's the direction I think everybody should take. Get out of Packet Tracer. I know it's free and it's easy to work with, but you know what? The things that the skills that you will gain from specking out a server, buying a server, getting the vMug Advantage license, downloading ESXi, installing ESXi, then downloading a Eve server, Eve community, or get Eve Professional. It's your call. Eve Professional is easier to work with because you don't have to power a device off to move around a cable and things like that. It also gives you it's better resource utilization wise as well. But once you get the devices into Eve and you start dragging and dropping devices around, you start spinning things up, you're going to learn very quickly that you just gained yourself a whole lot of skills that you wouldn't have gained if you wouldn't have done will it be easy? Probably not. You probably will struggle. You'll probably be saying some very interesting, colorful language when you're trying to get everything set up. But you know what? Once you've got it working and it's operational, think of how much further ahead in the game you'll be. That's what I started doing. I bought servers. I would cuss, spit, and I'd be all mad, like when things wouldn't work. But I also learned how to control my temper by putting myself into situations in my personal life that I could struggle with, and nobody would see me struggling with it. And then what ended up transpiring from that is I was able to move forward into other things like learning VMware and stuff like that. So it makes life a whole lot easier when you already know something. You don't have to sit there and struggle through it. So that's just my advice. Save up $1,000, however you have to do it. Buy a server. Go get yourself a CML license for downloading the Cisco operating systems. Get yourself a vMug Advantage license for $200 to download all the VMware images so you can play around with VMware. Download or buy an Eve Pro license and get that working in your home lab. Guess what? Every year you have to re-up that. So you pay $1,000 up front once, then you pay $500 a year to maintain that access. The cool thing about it is, with all the things that you're going to be learning, you're going to ramp up like this, and that $500 will come back to you, or that $1,500 I should say, because in the first 2 years, with the amount of things that you're going to learn, your salary is going to spike because now you're that much better, right? You're going to be, and plus you're going to get more certs because you're going to be able to test out more. You're going to be able to work with more. And that is going to help you out long term. So look at it as a rather large investment out of the gate. I'd say I probably have $10,000 invested in my home lab. I have far exceeded that in what I've earned from working in the IT industry. Far beyond that. So remember, you got to spend money to make money, and if you make the right investments in the right area, it'll pay off in spades. I promise you it will. I won't guarantee anything, but I'll promise you that you put the efforts in the right area. Because we'll look at it this way: everything's getting virtualized, right? Almost everything can be virtualized nowadays. So if you get yourself squared away with VMware, if you get yourself squared away with Cisco, you're going to be a game changer. And then learn a little bit of Python, and you can learn all that stuff inside of Eve. You're going to be golden. Trust me on that. So there was 37 layer 3 technologies from a very, very old course that I put out a long, long time ago. VRF Lite and EIGRP name mode for IPv4. Rob, you are the best. Thanks. You're welcome. Data center VXLAN 10, inter VNI routing with symmetric IRB. You rock. Thank you. 9000V VXLAN 13. Thank you. You're welcome. And then I have a question on SD-WAN 19, Service VPN 1, NAT, Dynamic NAT, PAT, Local Internet Breakout. Sorry, I completely spaced on that word. Hello, Rob. Might this is a stupid question, but and I'm reading these verbatim. I'm not trying to change any of the grammar around. Might this is a stupid question? Maybe is, I think, the word he was looking for. Maybe this is a stupid question, but could you answer me? OMP peer established over Transport VPN 0. Correct. How OMP is able to exchange routes in VPN 1 as these are different VRFs. Redistribution. That's how that works. So there's really not a whole lot to it. I cover it in how OMP, and when you do static routing and things like that, or when you want to punch a hole from VPN 1 and you punch a default route into VPN 0, same thing. A VRF and a VPN are the same thing. So it is just a way of connecting to whatever you're trying to connect to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Same person, same day, I believe. Rob, great videos. Great work you're doing. Thanks a lot. You're welcome. And then lastly, I have on the boot camp that I ran last weekend. Hi, Rob. Are you planning a CCNP SP boot camp? Regards, I think is what he was trying to go for. So I hadn't planned on it, but I could, for sure. Again, it's one of those things that would have to come in the future because I don't have any current plans to do that. But I could put something together. Service provider is not my main focus. If I'm going to be, and there was a question about why I didn't go through and do a boot camp for VMware. How come you don't do VMware boot camps? And the simple answer to the question is because if I was to say deploy vCenter Server or install ES6i hosts and things like that, I could do that in a boot camp environment. But we would walk through how something works and then go through the deployment of it. And then after the deployment, it would be, or during the deployment, it would be basically like put it on, take a break for half an hour until vCenter Server is completely deployed. And then once it's deployed, then come back in and start working with it. So I could make it work, right? It would take some time, but it just isn't something that I can see being a live boot camp technology to demonstrate. I could make it work. It would just be weird. So with that being said, that is it. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me in this video. I will continue to do the Tech Support Thursday as we move forward. The channel isn't going to change. I do have a job change in the back end. So anybody that follows me on LinkedIn already knows about it. So Really looking forward to it. I'm going back into consulting from leaving the training team or training company that I was working at for the past couple of years. I needed a change, as I just got to the point where I needed a change. I know I announced on the channel when I first went on board with them. A lot of things changed from the time that I came on board till today, and those changes basically forced my hand. It put me in a position where I had to leave. I could no longer do the work that I was being asked to do. So, with that being said, I won't no ill will towards the organization at all. I'm just I needed to do something different. I couldn't do the work that I was being asked to do anymore. I just was completely mentally tapped out with it. So, another question that I got was, are you going to lower the not the standard, but what it is you're teaching on the channel? Are you going to bring it down to the CCNA level? And the answer to that question is no. I won't teach CCNA. Simple fact is, I have done that for the past basically 2.5 years, and I'm no disrespect to anybody watching this that is studying for their CCNA. I can't bring myself down that low. I just can't come down that low, and I don't have the patience. I just don't have the patience to come down that low and teach somebody that's working on their CCNA. I can work with anybody that's got a CCNA level or above. That's kind of where, that's like CCNP. That's kind of where my sweet spot, because I take certain things for granted as an instructor, that I need people to already understand certain things. Like, I'll get questions on stuff and I'll be like, why are you asking me that? But that's my problem, right? And so because that's my problem, I have chosen not to teach something that I don't feel like I'm good at teaching. I don't feel like I'm good at teaching CCNA. I feel like I'm good at teaching the higher level certifications, the deeper technologies, because that's an area that I'm comfortable with. But the basics, I don't have the patience nor the desire to teach CCNA. So if you're looking for CCNA from this channel and you're watching this video, just understand that it's not something that I ever plan on doing. I did a long time ago, but that was when I was studying for CCNA and CCNP. That was the area that was where my headspace was. Now I've also shifted my direction too. I'm not really big on Cisco anymore. I'm bigger on VMware, and my goal is to transition as my direction changes, so will the channel. The channel will focus more on VMware. I do plan on diving into to AWS. I plan on diving into Azure and dealing with cloud. So that'll be a direction I go as well. So I'm actually looking real forward to a change of pace. Not saying that Cisco's gotten old, but I've talked about it for so long that I don't really want to talk about it anymore. It's one of those things where it's like I kind of got burnt out on it, and I want to change a direction. That's what I need as a person. So I'm sure everybody understands where I'm coming from. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to cover Cisco anymore. I'm still going to cover Cisco stuff, but I'll cover Cisco on my way, on my terms. It won't be doing what somebody else has told me to do or teaching it the way that somebody else wants me to teach it. It'll be teaching it my way and how I think it needs to be delivered. So we'll go through how a lot of this stuff works and go from there. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me in this video. It went way longer than I anticipated. I only had a few questions, but here we are at the 30-minute mark. You guys know I babble, but I had to get some things off my chest, and all good things, right? Nothing's bad. So I want to again thank everybody for their continued support as subscribers. If you're not subscribed and you continue to watch the channel, hey, thanks. It would do me a solid if you would like, share, and subscribe. Let people know that this channel is out there. I am trying to get it to grow. I'd love to see the channel hit 25,000, 30,000, 40,000 subscribers. Not because I'm trying to become a technical YouTuber. That's not my goal. My goal is to grow this channel so that it is a resource for those that may not be able to afford it. Because there was a point in time in my career where I couldn't afford training. So I'd have to go out and try to find it elsewhere. And I did a lot of reading, and I don't like to read. I really don't. But I found that the higher up I went, in the direction that I've gone, not a lot of people have put a lot of training out. So I'm having to be forced back into reading again, and a lot of it is stuff that I'm fortunate there's a lot of people out there that have already done this stuff, so I can read a lot of blogs, get a lot of good insight as to how stuff works. With that being said, if you have any questions for me, please let me know in the comment section below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends and your family about it. Let them know. You guys have an awesome Memorial Day weekend. Please stay safe out there. Don't do anything stupid. Think before you act. Catch y'all in the next one. Take it easy, guys.